Hey, what's up? We're Uniform. I'm Mike.
I'm Ben.
And these are guest picks.
Which was
Yeah, let's do that again. Shit.
All right.
Yeah. Should we clap again?
No, you can keep going.
Okay. Hey, what's up? We're Uniform, and these are Sisters in Christ guest picks.
You want me to start?
Yeah, I want you to start.
My first pick is Bob Dylan, Empire Burlesque. It's from 1985. It's a really beautiful record. A lot of people don't like his 80s records, but I do because they're good.
My first pick is SYSTRAL Fever 10-inch. I hate 10 inches. They're really not my favorite format, but this record really kind of blew my mind open. Bremen hardcore is something very important to me, and these guys kind of coming from the teenage Acme world and doing like heavy fucking death at a time where a lot of hardcore people weren't doing that is really like jarring. This is like one of the more profound records of my life, so sick.
Next one is the Seersky record. Kennedy is the best. We went on tour with her for, I don't know, close to a month. And she's the sweetest, and she's got an amazing voice. And if you haven't heard it, you should.
Next one is the Seersky record. It's worth doing this twice.
It is.
Because
It's
the
that
record
good.
is that good.
It really is.
And it can't be understated quite how powerful Kennedy's work is.
It's true.
And yeah, she's a tremendous force. We're lucky to have her making music right now. Yeah, you should buy it if you haven't already.
You should listen to Seersky. My next one is The Leather Nun, Force of Habit. It has almost all of my favorite Leather Nun songs on one record, including Prime Mover, Have Sex With Me, their cover of ABBA's Gimme 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 a Man After Midnight, I Could Smell Your Thoughts. It rules. If you like rock and roll, you should listen to The Leather Nun.
My next one is Carol, 1996 Reconstructed. It's a Carol Discography. Another Bremen band, comes from the same world as SYSTRAL, Acme, Morser later, like all that shit. Just profoundly damaged Rorschach worship. And like, you know, these guys were all fucking like 16, 17 years old and making like the nastiest music. And Carol never really got their, they never really got like, I think the recognition that they deserved. And it's really quite awesome that people are kind of paying attention now, and that, well, hopefully people are paying attention. It's awesome that there's a fucking discography now. You couldn't find this shit for forever, so sick.
My next one is the DREAMDECAY record. DREAMDECAY is from the Pacific Northwest. They're one of the coolest newer bands that I've heard in a long time. It's pretty rare that you hear a band that you've never heard of before and they knock you on your ass, and then you get to go see them and they knock you on your ass again. It's on Iron Lung, which is a fucking sick label that everyone should be checking out anyway. But yeah, they're cool. They're like weird psychedelic rock and roll, almost Wipers-y, really melodic, really cool guitar parts. Check them out.
Next I pulled Torches to Rome LP, Sarah Kirsch Forever. I mean, she was responsible for, you know, John Henry West, fucking Fuel, Bread and Circuits. Like, pretty much everything Sarah ever touched was, you know, important. And this is some of her most emotive, kind of driven work. You know, this is like, I used to like drive around Philadelphia, like listening to this and like getting myself riled up and excited to live life as much as one can get riled up and excited to live life in Philadelphia in the mid-1990s. But yeah, man, fucking long live Sarah Kirsch.
My next one is Chet Atkins, Lover's Guitar. I started playing guitar when I was 7 years old, and the guy who was teaching me was about 80, and he was an old Italian jazz guy, and he got me started on Chet Atkins and Les Paul and FALLOW, and I would not play guitar if it wasn't for Chet Atkins. So if you've never listened to a Chet Atkins record, you owe it to yourself for sure.
My next one is the Abolition Straight Edge comp.
True.
Way different than most of the straight edge comps that were coming out in the mid-90s. You're going to fucking notice some of this mid-90s shit that I'm doing right now. I'm kind of going through a moment, midlife crisis. I'm pushing 40. Bear with me. I'm wearing a Zero's Gone shirt. You can deal with this shit. Anyway, so when I was younger, a friend of mine, her brother was a straight edge dude, got hooked on heroin, got rid of all of his records, and sold a lot of them to me. And this is one of the CD. Believe it or not, there's a CD in this shit. CD's records that was in that fun heroin batch. And yeah, man, it was the first time I fucking heard Portraits of Past. And the Monster X song on it was just impossibly heavy. The Frail song on it was fantastic. The Groundwork song's great. The Policy of Three song, that's one of Philadelphia's finest exports, and I mean, just like it's just hit after hit. And I'm pretty sure, from what I know, literally nobody on this compilation is straight edge anymore. In pretty big ways, so tight.
My next pick is Hank Wood and the Hammerheads, Stay Home. They're a New York band made up of actual New York natives, which I relate to as a New York native. When I was a kid growing up in New York City, there was not too much of a local scene unless you were into electronic music. There were not a lot of all ages shows, etc. These kids are all about 5 years younger than me, so they somehow built a scene for themselves after I was a teenager, which I'm kind of jealous of. But they're amazing. They're more of a soul band than a punk band, in my opinion. The singer's incredible. The guitar player's got a really, really cool style. They're definitely worth checking out.
My next pick is the Anasazi. That's the Anasazi, not regular Anasazi, not the New York band. This is Josh Anzano and Casey Watson. Fucking Central California, late 90s dudes. Guys from Yaphet and the such, playing more kind of like Rorschach inspired, like super harsh hardcore. The songwriting on this thing is fantastic. Trouble Man put this out, and it is one of the worst recordings that I've ever heard. Yeah. And the record fucking tanked because nobody could listen to it.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's like, and there's a version of this that's like actually like mastered and well, and it's like sounds amazing. But this is not that version. This record sounds like shit, but the songwriting is absolutely great, and Josh Anzano is one of the best musicians that I've ever met. One of my best friends, total piece of shit. This one's for you, Josh.
My next one is the Pretenders extended play EP. I think the Pretenders are underrated, which is a funny thing to say about a major label band, but there's a track on here called Porcelain that is actually terrifyingly good. The playing, the musicianship, the songwriting, her voice, it's like outrageous. And it's something that a lot of people sleep on, so don't fucking sleep on it.
My next one is COLDSWEAT, Blinded.
Oh, shit.
Where do I even start with this? I mean, kind of like early 2000s, I'd kind of like fallen out of hardcore in a pretty big way. And, this is one of the records that kind of pulled me back in. It's, I don't know, kind of like mid-period Black Flag, but a lot better. Some of like the best musicianship that has kind of ever occurred in genre music, in my opinion. Sean Dean is the single greatest front person I've ever encountered in hardcore, and like this record like continues to inspire me. Iron Lung, you know, reissued it last year, and it's cool that it's fucking in circulation again. Yeah, everything about this is like front to back perfect. Fucking, yo, God bless Sean Dean, man.
No doubt. This record is by a band from the UK called Bad Breeding. That's also on Iron Lung. We actually picked a ton of Iron Lung records. What's up, Jensen? I produced this record, so I'm being a little bad right now, but this band is fucking sick. And if you like punk rock, you should listen to them because they're legit as shit. They're coming to the States for the first time this fall, so don't miss them. They have a couple records out. They're all fucking sick. They play their asses off. They write their asses off, and they're really good dudes.
I've got the CR John and Lisa LP on Reservoir. It's not even that I like this record that much. It just kind of goes, it's a point in time in my life. The CR 7-inch is the first 7-inch that I ever bought. And one of my first hardcore shows, probably like my first like real hardcore show was CR played, so with the Ink and Dagger, Dead Guy, Trial and I Hate You. First Unitarian Church in Philly, and these guys fucking like really did a number on me at that show. That whole show, like front to back, like I still tell stories about. It was a very pivotal moment in my life, and yeah, this is next to the Wu-Tang Clan, like one of the only good things to ever come out of Staten Island.
True.
Fucking tight record, tight band, sick.
My next pick is the Rockwell Somebody's Watching Me LP, which I didn't even know was a full LP. I thought they just did a single, and it was someone who was friends with the Jackson brothers and got a deal, but it's a hell of a single, and if you don't know it, it fucks.
Pulled out the Fieldsley Fallow record. These guys, Gus from fucking Spirit Assembly and Encyclopedia of American Traders, played on a bunch of body stuff. It's in this band, and yeah, it's fucking super solid, emotive hardcore. Gus has never really played on a bad song, and this continues with that. Yeah, man, truly important musician. Great band, great record.
We've got Broken Waters Tempest LP. They're a really fucking cool band from Seattle. Kind of psychedelic, grungy, really cool songwriting. They've had a lot of really interesting instrumentations over the years. Sometimes they involve strings, sometimes they involve noise elements. I don't want to say they're slept on because they've been around for a long time and a lot of people do know them, but if you're not familiar, you should check them out. I also like how the design kind of looks like a Sacred Bones record, but it's not.
Life's Blood. So, Life's Blood, you know, this is my favorite New York hardcore band. Incredibly important to me. I still listen to this all the time. You know, right up there with fucking Born Against, of course. Just like super driven, super anthemic, fucking fantastic band. Singer wound up being a cop, but you know, that came later. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna talk shit. We have a lot of mutual friends, and word on the street is that he's cool. So I don't know. I'm digging myself a hole here.
Yeah, a little bit.
You made a fantastic record. Thank you for changing my life. Sick. What the fuck are you laughing at? Keep on going.
I like that you're calling out someone for becoming a cop in the city that you live in, so he can actually just find you.
He's not a cop anymore. I guess he retired.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, sick.
Probably lives in my neighborhood.
Probably. Or Staten Island.
Yeah, true. All right, my last pick is the You Only Live Twice soundtrack. You Only Live Twice is obviously the best James Bond title song Anybody who disagrees with that is out of their goddamn mind. It's Nancy Sinatra. It's beautiful. And yeah, if you've never seen the movie, you should see it.
Rorschach, Protestant and Remain Sedate. Yeah, flawless start to finish. Band has a flawless discography. Like straight up responsible for pretty much my favorite style of hardcore. Always imitated, fucking never replicated. You know, just unbelievably fucking balls out, like nasty, fucked up, metallic hardcore. Fucking, there was nothing like it at the time, and you know, later on, fucking DEADGUY, Human Remains, all of that stuff, and then all of that Bremen shit that I was talking about earlier. All of that was like either people from Rorschach or people trying to replicate Rorschach, and man, like Protestant is just like one of like the most fucked up records that like I've ever heard, and like really impacted me. Remain Sedate is a perfect hardcore record. Yeah, I forever love Rorschach. Oh, I'm still fucking...
It's all you now, bud.
Fixation on a Coworker.
Oh, yeah. That's a fucking record.
A undisputed classic. Again, just, you know, noisy fucking hardcore from the Rorschach world. And yeah, this is... keep on talking about that first hardcore show, which DEADGUY also happened to play, with CR, who I fucking talked about earlier. It's like, Tim Singer is just like a fucking truly damaged vocalist, and you know, these guys like were pulling just as much from fucking like, you know, Cows and like AMRAP shit.
Yeah, I mean the guitar playing on that record's insane.
Yeah, like they were doing just as much that as they were doing like any hardcore. So like, yeah, this is one of those like, it was a pivotal record for me. I don't quite have the words to go into that, because I just don't. I feel like I'm saying the same shit about every fucking cool record. So yeah, these guys were fantastic. Came around at a really important time in my life, and yeah, I love DEADGUY.
Is that it?
Sick.
Cool.
Hey, thanks. And thanks for the fucking coffee.
Hell yeah.
There's food too if y'all want to take a stir.
That's amazing.